The music is pretty sick, too. Put sound on? No, because then I'll get DMCA'd. That's one of the biggest dangers, is like I can't put on the audio for this because then I get DMCA'd. It happens every damn time. And it's not by, it's by automated on YouTube. It's always by automated on YouTube. Sometimes it happens 6 months later. You know when we did the Streamer Awards? You remember when I was watching the Streamer Awards? Like, when Cutie Cinderella was, like, announcing stuff? Yesterday, all of the music from that stream got DMCA'd, and I had to delete the VOD on YouTube. Yesterday, that happened. Suddenly got like 6 copyright claims. I was like, all right. Because it wasn't DMCA free. Even when it says sometimes it's DMCA free, then I gotta go fight that. It's annoying. You have no idea how annoying that process is. As a streamer, it is not worth it. Yeah. Everything is made by them? Yeah. Tell that to the guy who tried to go and copyright claim 300 of our videos because they said that they owned our music. I still had to manually fight every one of those videos. It was great. I don't need the hassle, so I don't play the music on stream, dude. Like, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. No, it's even more amazing. So the way that they did it was brilliant, actually. So we got a number of samples from a company in the EU, and those samples cost this money, and we bought the license for them. Our music is made out of those. This attacker group also bought those samples for money, and then they took those samples and made music out of it, and then they made it so that that music couldn't be heard or seen in the EU, which was the parent company. They made a fake musician in the country of India, a guy who didn't exist, and said that he was the original artist, the original musician for this, and then DMCA'd everybody across all of YouTube that was using that sample library. And since it was banned in the EU, the parent company couldn't see that it was going on. So we had to contact the parent company, show them what was going on, show them how to use a VPN to be able to see that this was happening, and then they had to go to legal bat for us and remove all of the copyright claims on 300 plus videos manually, because it was all of our VODs ever on YouTube. And that's why I stopped uploading our VODs, because at the time we had 30 average viewers on Twitch. It was awful, dude. It was awful. It sucked so badly. And there's nothing YouTube could do about it, because they can't get involved in the legal process. They just have to be like, well, a claim was made. What do you want? Like, they don't know. That's not their job. The system just sucks. It's not even YouTube's fault, though. That's not YouTube's fault. Name them and shame them. Their account got deleted because of this. Like, they went, the original sample company went to bat so hard that this scam group disappeared from the internet. But there's a billion other ones, too. We get them all the time. Somebody tried to claim, they tried to claim copyright to all of the music on our Amori video recently. And we had to go to bat with that and be like, no, you don't. OmoCat owns all that. It's not owned by you. And we literally responded with saying, like, eat ass. No, you don't. And it's a copyright scam. All of it's a copyright scam, saying that they own the music so they can try and steal from your videos because you're too afraid to fight back, because you're afraid you're going to get a copyright strike. And that's not even YouTube's fault. That's not. That's people abusing DMCA, which is a crime, by the way. It is a crime. You're not supposed to do that. But YouTube's not supposed to get involved either. It's not their place. Because otherwise, they'll have to get involved in all the legal processes on their platform, which is a billion of them, which makes no sense. Yeah, it's a fine in jail time a lot of times. It's a big deal. What do they gain from this? Money. For every content creator that just rolls over and says yes to those systems, the troll makes money off of their videos. Every one of them. And usually the copyright trolls will claim it out of India right now. It is not because Indian people are scamming you. It is because they are claiming it out of India because it is harder to litigate when that person gets caught. That's why. It makes it easier for the scam artist to scam you just because it is harder to litigate against a random person in India when you are in the United States. That is the reason. It is likely that that person isn't even in India. They're just using that location to attack you. Yeah, it makes the getaway easier. Eckert's Ladder's been targeted a lot of times and won every time. Oh, I win every time too. I think we've probably fought this now close to 120, 130 times, and we've won every time. It's complete ass. It's complete ass. Every time one of our videos gets to 100,000 views, anytime a video gets to 100,000 views or more, it instantly gets DMCA scammed. There's like some kind of a bot that is basically checking to see if your video is popular enough for them to try and do this so that they can make sure that they're only hitting videos where they're actually going to make money off of them. Every time this happens. You're from India, it feels bad, man. Dude, it's not even your fault. It's just easier for people to use that country as like a shade, right? As like a cloak to hide doing this. Because it's harder in the United States to go track down someone from India and then litigate against them. That's the only reason. It sucks, but like, that's what it is. It's not even your fault, man. Yeah, scammer scapegoat. Just easier. It's YouTube's fault? No, it's not. What's YouTube going to do? Get involved in every court case on its platform? Yeah, that makes sense. YouTube isn't supposed to police that. That's not their job. The idea that the platform somehow is going to get involved into every piece of individual to individual litigation that happens on the platform is insane. That's not really how that works. YouTube's fault for having a DMCA policy that can be abused? How better would you construct that? Because that's not how DMCA works. The way that it works is DMCA is a person-to-person legal claim. YouTube stays out of that. This is called the law. It has nothing to do with YouTube. If you think this is YouTube's fault, you deeply misunderstand how this process works. It can happen on any platform. People just complain about it because YouTube is big. There's nothing to do with YouTube. That's a copyright law problem, not a YouTube problem. It's never been a YouTube problem. It's always been a copyright law problem. And I know that because I have to do that every day. I like how your response to me just explaining that is it's 100% YouTube's fault with like no additional information. This has nothing to do with YouTube. None. Zero. Brain gone. This is a copyright problem, not a YouTube problem. I would agree that DMCA needs an overhaul. I would agree with that. YouTube destroys channels based on false claims? No. No, they do not. A individual files a DMCA claim. The individual can say, no, that's not true. And then the original claimer says, yes, it is true. And then YouTube says, you two go to court. Everything is locked down until that takes place, which is what they have to do based on the law. That is not YouTube's choice. That is their obligation. Same thing with Steam. Same thing with Twitch. DMCA is Digital Millennium Copyright Act. United States law. Even if it's a baseless case, how is YouTube to know if that case is baseless or not? It is not their place to get involved in litigation between two individual users. If they did, they would be in legal trouble because they would have to get involved in either all of the cases on their platform, or they could run into issues for showing bias in a individual to individual legal case. YouTube cannot get involved. No platform can get involved. If you DMCA someone on Twitch, if you DMCA someone on YouTube, if you DMCA somebody on Steam, it is the same process. There is no difference between YouTube, Twitch, and Steam when it comes to allowing or enforcing DMCA.
The platform $5
takes a step back because they're not supposed to get involved, and the individuals have a civil suit against each other regarding the copyright control of the media that is involved in the DMCA case. Nothing to do with YouTube, nothing to do with Twitch, nothing to do with Steam, ever. Do not blame a platform for that. They have to stay uninvolved. They will lose safe haven otherwise. For what good is DMCA used? I use it all the time. Every time one of those on the internet takes one of our shorts, directly copies it and then re-uploads it, I DMCA them. I do like 5 takedowns a day, every day. Sometimes more, usually more. So yeah, that's kind of what it's for. Stop re-uploading my Go make your own Don't re-upload my See, that's an interesting one there. The laws are a court should decide, and only then should a platform be required to take down. So you want to take it from the way that it currently is, which is take down immediately, to it has to get caught up in the court system for an unknown amount of time before any action is taken. When in many cases, the court system will never actually pick this up because it'll be caught in a mile of red tape, which means no enforcement will ever take place, and the entire internet will be filled with scam videos of re-uploads of your content forever. And the platforms will not be able to do anything about this because, beholden by the law, they have no obligation to take any action whatsoever. You see how that doesn't work? You see how that turns into just like an absolute cesspool of instantly? That sounds preferable? Let me show you what happens when that happens. I'm going to show you exactly the outcome that you are asking for right now. This is the outcome that you're asking for, because it's exactly how that works on TikTok. There are hundreds of accounts like this, hundreds of them, all re-uploading my content, all of them taking it and deep frying it and changing the audio speed and all kinds of Some of the ones that I've actually gotten taken down have 60,000 followers or more. There are hundreds of these accounts. Hundreds. And the reason why is because TikTok doesn't actually delete accounts unless there is overwhelming attacks on them. This sucks. So the scenario you're asking for ends like this. The scenario that we have right now ends like YouTube, where it's way easier to police this. Way easier. I would rather have the system on YouTube than having the system on TikTok. I've sent, some days on TikTok, I've sent 50 plus DMCAs. And you know what happens? The account doesn't get taken down. Those videos disappear and they pop right back up. It's all automated. It's terrible, man. It's really not good. Look at all these freaking accounts. Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at all these pirate softwares, dude. Like, come on. So you can't just walk into one of these and be like, I know more than this. We should just change everything. No, you actually have to look at the outcome of what could happen there. You have to. And the outcome of this is that the current system is really quite good. The problem with it is when you get to international claims, you run into problems. Local claims, domestic claims, easy. But the reason why international claims become a problem is because, like I said, you could just make an artist in India and attack people's content in the United States, which is what happens. And the platform should not be involved because otherwise they'd have to be involved in all of these cases. And we shouldn't delay on enforcement on these because if we do, then we end up with TikTok. You have to do it immediately. It's the best way to do it. Really easy that way. It's annoying, but it's way better this way. What about changing the strike system related to DMCA, which instills fear and finding the feedback? I think that's something that YouTube can improve. I could agree with that. I think a better system would be a DMCA claim is filed. The defender has a chance to make a claim in response, and then it goes to civil court, whatever that's going to be. I don't like the strike system on YouTube because it means the defender doesn't want to defend themselves. I think that's the one thing that could change. The reason why they likely won't change this is because there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of requests per day. And what ends up happening is that the defender could claim that they won that civil case and that the claim should be removed. And YouTube would then have to go and read through all of those civil claims and confirm with local courts if they are real or not. That is likely why this doesn't happen. YouTube has to just take it down. Imagine the paperwork and the follow-up to determine that that win or loss is real with every local court globally. See the problem? The defender would need to provide copies of the judgment, and the defender would need to provide copies of judgment that are real. And YouTube would have to be able to discern if it is real. You see how this becomes impossible? This is why it works this way. It's not about laziness, it's about fraud, and how easy it is to fake any of this. You just can't let it work that way. You have to think about what is possible when we're talking about fraud and fake documentation. And then on top of it, what is possible based on the total throughput and numbers of the platform. It's just not a possibility. It's never going to be a possibility. It's a pipe dream to think otherwise. I smell a blockchain solution. Shut up, blockchain solution. Jesus Christ. If we put it in a ledger, it'll fix it. That'll definitely make it so that millions of documents are readable every day. Blockchain, NFTs, Bitcoin. I hate that part of the internet so goddamn much. It's insane. You take your butt coin, you get out of here. No, dude. Blockchain doesn't inherently fix anything. You know what blockchain is? Do you know what a blockchain is? Blockchain is a ledger. Do you know what a ledger is? It's an immutable record. Do you know what an immutable record is? It means it cannot be changed. Do you know what a database is? A record of values that can be changed. Do you know why we use databases? So when someone steals your account and they steal 500 gold from your account or steal all your items in World of Warcraft, we can refund it to you, which we can't do on a ledger. There is no inherent gain in putting millions of documents of DMCA claims in a ledger. What the living shit are you talking about?